Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on what time zone you are watching this from. I want to welcome you again to another exciting episode on the L300 Impact Stories. Now, this is where we get to share the impact that the L300 program has had on its participants, right? Whether they have just graduated or they are still in their final years because the program runs from freshman year to penultimate year. But this is where we get to hear the stories, the unedited stories, not like Governor Moniki. Let's see the edits. The unedited stories of how the impact of the program has been on people. And today we have an amazing guest who's going to be sharing her story with all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome the one and only Daniella. Daniella, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, sir. I'm fine, thank you, sir. It's an honor to be on this show.
Thank you so much for being here today. We are super excited to have you, knowing that you are a fresh, never been used before, newly minted graduate of the Faculty of Law with first class honors, summa cum laude. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Okay,
much, sir.
before
I'm
we
very
begin your
grateful, sir.
interview, there's something that I want you to watch, and I want every other person to watch. Just stay in the background and let's watch this together.
Daniella University with my Emie-Maduagwuna Daniella Ngozi, and I want to study law at Benson University. With my skills as a lawyer, I'll be able to advocate effectively for oppressed people. I would also be able to offer pro bono services to people, and I'll be an instrument of positive change to the world with my skills as a lawyer. I chose Benson University because it's one of the best private universities and it has a good reputation for law. I also see myself graduating with the first class. Okay, and in the next after BIU, I see myself as an international lawyer that's going to work in different countries of the world as a good advocate. Okay, and I'm amiable, wonderful, and amazing.
Awesome. Do you remember that video?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
How time flies. 5 years ago, you recorded that video. 5 years after, you are living the dream of a first class honors BIU Faculty of Law graduate. How does it feel to live your dream?
I think it feels surreal. It feels like sometimes I can't believe it yet because I remember when we were asked to do that video, I was so stressed and I'm like, why do we need to have a video before we can do our registration? And I'm like, you know what? Let me just do it. When I was prepared for my convocation, and I was like, oh, when I was announced as part of those that were graduating to first class for Faculty of Law, and I remember the video, and I'm like, oh, I made this video at L300. I made it in 100 level. And I'm like, okay, the Bible of God says when you see a vision, write it down. And me, I recorded it. Then I was kind of scared. Can I do this? Can I not do this? But I just said, you know what? Aim for the top. Anything that happens, just aim for the top. And I'm excited I made that video because looking back at it, I'm like, wow, God actually honors his word. What God hears us say, that's what he's going to do. And it feels surreal. Like, I can't still believe it. But I am so grateful to God because we came, I saw, I conquered, I was able to achieve it. God was able to help me. God heard me and he helped me to do the work.
Awesome. So let's begin our conversation today. Tell us about Daniela. Who is Daniela? Introduce yourself to us. So people may be watching this for the first time. Who is Daniela?
Okay. Good evening. My name is Daniella Emie-Maduagwuna Ngozi, and I am a recent graduate of the Faculty of Law, Benson University. And while I was at Benson University, I was a student leader. Daniela is a very interesting person. She's a very amazing person. She's someone that knows what she wants and she goes for it. And I am so honored by L300 to be at the Impact Stories today.
Awesome. We are super honored to have you here. You know, you were we're able to go back into the archives and see your video, which you shared with us, and we're like, wow, this really is something to begin the story with, so that people who are watching this would understand that those things you said about yourself, like you said, scripture says right division. Now you recorded the vision. You video recorded the vision, and look at the vision now, a reality for you, and I'm super happy for you. Now, 5 years
Thank you
ago,
so much, sir.
you were 5 years younger. You walked into BIU not knowing anyone. How was it like for you? Was you mentioned BIU was your choice to come here, so I won't ask that question. But how was it like for you 5 years ago, leaving your parents at that young age and coming into school to study law in a totally different state from where you're from, and you were here? How was that experience? The first day you stepped your feet on campus, how was it like for you?
Okay, so the first day I stepped my feet on campus, I was like, oh, I haven't been to Benin before. It was so surreal because I'm like, I don't know anybody here and everything. But one thing about me is that I always believe that if God sends me somewhere, He's sending me there for a reason. He's planting me there for a particular purpose. And the reason why He sends me there, I have to fulfill it. At first, it was lonely. Like, I didn't know anybody. I had to adjust. I had to find out things. I had to work hard. I had to make it work. And one thing that I think that helped me was that I didn't have a mentality of, oh, I can't do it. Once it can be done, I'll find every way to make sure that, oh, this thing should be done. So when I entered there, it was at first it was kind of overwhelming. At first it was like compressing in my head. I was like, initially I was like, oh, can I do this? Can I really study law? Can I really be in this school? You don't know anybody here. You don't know anybody in Benin City. You don't have family here. Can I really do this? But God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. God knew that I needed to be in Benin City when I needed to be there, and He made sure that everything works. So initially, like I chose BIU, yes. I chose it scared. I chose it confused. I chose it like I didn't know, but let me just see what the school bring for me. That is why I chose BIU. I chose it because it was good. Like it has a good track record. When I was searching for schools to go to, I think when I searched, the first person I saw was Professor Kohome. She was a doctor then. She was the first thing, and I know that. I remember researching about that was November 2020. I remember looking for research for like first year scheme of work for law, and also the first school that came to my Google Drive, my first search history like, with the scheme of law was BIU. And when I think of everything, I think that God has a reason to make everything work. And when it's God say when it is time, I the Lord will make it happen. He made it happen. It was time because I didn't know a school like BIU, but I went there. The first person I saw was Professor Kunhume. She was the dean. I can remember what she was wearing in that picture: a black blazer and a white camisole. But like God knew that I needed to be in that school. God knew that at this point in time I needed to be here. So looking back at time, I knew I was scared. Looking back at time, I knew that I didn't know what was going to work for me. But now I can always say that Jeremiah 29:11, the plans God has for us is always good, regardless, no matter how it seems, no matter how you can be confused, no matter how it may not like look like it was your plan or something. Jeremiah 29:11, God's plan for you is always perfect. You may not know anybody, but because God has sent you there, God is making you there, sending you there to make an impact. That is that's all I can say. Like remembering me, like oh, at first it was as if oh I didn't know anybody, as if I'm alone, but God was there with me. That's what I could say though.
Awesome. And I love the scripture you quote, Jeremiah 29:11. I always like to quote that scripture, but from the message translation. The message translation says, I know what I am doing. I have it all planned out. I will take care of
Yeah.
you. I will not abandon you. I will give you the future that you hope for. And literally, that future of first class that you hope for is your reality today. That one is done and dusted. Now, when you got into BIU, what was the impact the L300 community had on you as a student, as a fresh student who was trying to navigate your way around school? What was the impact that the L300 community had on you while you were here?
Okay, so the impact L300 community had on me, like, from my first day in BIU till like 400 level when we finished L300 and moved to LSC, I think the impact has been tremendous. Like, I can't even, the list is unquantifiable, but I have to list some. First of all, the tax they gave us, it made me approach everything head on. That's one of the impacts it has had on me because often when we are giving holiday tax, I think even when we did our first videos, we are giving tax to read books and everything. And L300 was really, really impactful because it will help you. Okay, this thing may look long. Oh, read 6 books, read 7 books, um, do voluntary service, watch movies. At times it will be like, oh, can I really do this thing? It looks difficult, but when you take the bull by the horn, take it, work, go head on. Oh, this thing you can do it. I think that is one of the things that LC100 helped me. That, oh, you can do this thing, do it. Nothing is too hard if you put your heart to it. That is one of the impact that L300 has really taught me because sometimes it will look like, oh, this environment. I think another health impact exposure has had on me is that it made me know that I'm not too, there's no position that is too good for me. Because there are rooms I've entered using my L300 volunteer letter. Like, normally I may not have been able to do it, but like L300, knowing that, oh, I am doing this, I'm doing that, I know that, oh, no room is too big for me to attend. It makes me know that, oh, sorry, it makes me know that, oh, everything that God has deposited a lot in me, right? So even that volunteer work, I think I always come to you, Mr. Alex, and say, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Can I do this? Can I not do this? And you'll be like, oh, what is the worst thing that can happen? And they'll say no, right? And I always had that mindset. I always had the mindset that nothing is impossible. If one way block, another way will open. That
True.
is one of the mindsets that LC100 has shown me. And I think the impact to reading those books, watching those movies, that really helped me a lot. Like, I've learned a lot of things. I remember reading Becoming and reading Michelle Obama's books and
Yeah, becoming, yes.
yes, it was one of the books we were asked to read, reading Michelle Obama's book, and I saw how she was a white, first black first lady, and she was able to take up America. She was able to do good things in America during her tenure. It didn't matter that she was black. It didn't matter she was a woman of color. She was able to do things heads on. She was able to like. I was able to learn invaluable leadership traits from what she taught. Even things can grow rich. I think one of the lessons there is when they say no, continue, press forward. And I think it has really impacted me. Like, even if they say no, keep on pressing. Unless it's not God's plan for you. Continue. There's always there's always good. There's always something better where you are. And I feel like L300 with the volunteer work and everything, it has also made me know that wherever I go, whichever rooms I enter, because when I'm doing volunteering work, a lot of people feel like, oh, if the companies are doing you a favor, they're not really doing you a favor. It's really nice to have them. It's really nice, but you also have value you're bringing. That is one thing I think I'm learning that I learned from L300. This volunteer service, you also bring in value. When you're writing your letters, as they're helping you, you're helping them. It's a both okay, I'm going to use both terms now. This consideration, they're helping me to give me valuable work experience. That is the consideration. The consideration I'm giving them to also putting my time, my effort, my work, also contributing in my own sphere of life. So I think that is one of the things that like L300 really impacted me that, oh, there's more. Read. You can always read. I used to have short attention span, but I think it got better because I used to watch all those movies that would be recommended to watch in L300. I tried to watch it, even reading the Bible. Sometimes they tell us to read Proverbs, Psalms, sometimes the whole Bible, and it really helps me. And it also made me not to be idle. Like, I don't think I can be an idle person now because there were always things to occupy my mind. So I know that now I can do work I can do work. I can combine a lot of things. It also helps me to be versatile. It also helps me to be able to combine work together. It also helps me to be able to multitask properly, doing work at home, going out to volunteer, going out to the office, to work for people, learn new things. Also shaped me like in the environment that I got. I'm able to adapt. I'm able to learn new cultures. I'm able to also leave a lasting imprint in people's lives. So I think L300, like, it has really impacted my life so much. The list is endless, honestly.
Awesome. Interestingly, from what you just said now, this current voluntary service, somebody traveled out of the country, but still did her voluntary service where she went to. She went to Qatar. She still did her voluntary service in
Wow,
Qatar, and they still sent a recommendation letter to us.
wow,
That was
that is
quite
really
quite amazing. Now, what are some of the skills you would say you picked up along the line during the L300 program? Some skills that you picked up that you didn't have before, but you learned during the program and you got better at them while still on the program. What were some of those skills that you learned during the program?
um okay. So often we always asked to do online and offline skills, right?
Yeah,
So the skill I really picked up during L300 was baking,
offline
right?
skill. Great.
So during
Okay.
my so during my L holidays, I go and learn baking. Initially, I was working. I used to go to someone's house and learn. Like I was kind of an intern too in her office. I go to, I go to her office to learn, right? I learned basic things. So now every holiday, the times I'm not able to go to her office to learn, I also go online and look for recent techniques to do and bake, right? And I think it's going to help me now that I'm a young graduate because these are skills. Nigeria now, you don't you need your intellect, you also need something you can do with your hands, right? Yes. So these are skills that it will take you further, and I'm very good at what I do. So then that one thing I also help me, like, as I'm learning this skill, I'm also learning to be the best. Like if they want to ask, oh, who is the best person that can do banana cake? I will be there. Oh, let's say I'm in Abuja or I'm in Lagos. Who is the best person that can do banana cake there? I know that I'm giving the best in what I'm doing. So like I learned my baking every holiday. I always ensure that I improved on it. I knew I could learn several skills, but I tried to have mastery in something. I know that, oh, I will master this and master it well. I also learned like computer skills, online soft skills that could help me, even like negotiating, right? Sometimes I just go like there are courses, EDX, Harvard courses that they'll just tell you, oh, this is how to negotiate, this is what to do. Like if not that L300 gave us those tasks, I would really sit in my house, rot in my bed. If I wake up, I watch TikTok, cook, maybe do some chores, rest because it's holiday. I need to shy, but I was trying to say, oh no, your brain should not be dormant. Work, learn a skill, learn online skill, learn offline skill. Because when we look at it, Nigeria today now, will smile at us because we are God's children. But Nigeria is not always smiling. So we also have to have things that we are going to do by the side. And that's one thing I liked about L300. It helped me to like improve my baking skills, soft skills, negotiating, how to relate with people. I'll go to Harvard, all the Jobberman trainings, Google course certification courses, and that was really a nice initiative. I'm not even going to lie, and really it's still helping me till now.
Awesome. Awesome. As the fact that you mentioned Nigeria, this would be a good time to say happy independence to Nigeria because this is being recorded on the Independence Day, October 1st, 2025. So happy 65 years, Nigeria. Happy independence to all Nigerians around the world who will be watching this. We celebrate with you and we're glad of how far we have come in with independence so far. Okay, so back to you, Daniela. Were there some persons, people, or places that made huge impression on you on the Health 100 program? Persons, people, places that made huge impression on you on the Health 100 program.
Yes, yes, please. I think you made a good impression on me because I know the first I came to some L300, and I think I asked you, said about L300 and LS, and I'm like, oh, what is LS about? And you're always the last person I will send on our clearance form. She was like, oh, when you graduate, we're about to graduate in final year, we start preparing you. And I think that was one thing that I really liked. That you always saw the beauty of your vision. Like you will start it even like beyond L300 when we were studying leadership. You will start it and you always see it to the end. I don't think there's anything that oh even for L300 LSC like okay you started like you always saw even if there were obstacles like you always see the beauty in your vision and you will see it to the end. I think another person is Sunshine. Sunshine. She was a year younger than me in school, but like Sunshine was really her dedication to work. Sunshine, Ibitamuno, her dedication to work is really, really, really unmatched. Like they bring out their time, they do the work gets done, and they most of the time they can do it with or without supervision. I think those are people that like they made a very huge impact on me, and I'm like, wow, these people are very good people. It's not easy to do this, and sometimes you always face like challenges. Sometimes people will laugh at you, you know. So and they're able to pull through, they're able to show resilience and skill. That is something that is very commendable and it's like whenever I think of it, I'm like, oh, this actually makes an impact. So regardless, do it scared, do it they're laughing at you, believe in the beauty of your dream.
Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. Now, speaking of which, you mentioned Sunshine. Sunshine is currently the resident advisor, student director of Legacy Campus for this 2025-2026
Wow,
session. Yes.
wow,
She's currently the
wow, wow, that's
RSD
so
right now. Yes.
oh, I'm so proud of her. That's so nice.
Yes.
Like, I'm so
Yes.
proud of her.
Amazing. Okay, next up. Were there memorable quotes that you can remember from the program that stood out for you at any point that were whether from the books you read or the movie you watched? Memorable quotes that you can remember. Hello, Daniela, are you still here? Okay, good.
Okay, so it's
Go ahead,
hello.
go ahead.
So please can you go over the question
I
again?
said, were there any?
Can you go over the question
Yeah, sure,
again?
I'll go over it again. I said, were there any memorable quotes you can remember that you picked along the line from the program, either from the train session or from the movies you watched or from the books you read? Any memorable quote that stood out for you?
Okay. I think we'll start with trim session. Um, I think it was about money when we're talking about saving, and then you always say that when money comes into your account, the first thing you should do is to save some part before you start spending. I think it's one thing that it still sticks till now. Like I still do it. No matter how much, even if it's 5K, I'll separate 2,000 naira and spend 3K. I know that you gave us. I think you were like we should save 80%, but like me, I'll tell you that me I don't save up to 80% yet too. But like I'll keep like 2K, spend like 3K, just to ensure that any money that's into your account save some. And also relationships. How you always say, okay, our goal in school is to read our book. Even if you're doing relationships, be careful. Don't like do the one that they will serve you breakfast and you will not be able to. Don't be obsessed in relationship. They'll serve you breakfast and then you will be able to. You'll not be able to focus, be able to read. You know. So I think that relationship, money, how to be prudent with your spendings. You know. Then we have talked about love, talking about money. Then in Think and Grow Rich, I said it earlier. And the first thing that if they tell you no, no is not final. No is not final. Press. Keep on doing it. Keep on going. There are most people that will tell you no. They'll finally, if you're able to convince them, no, they'll finally tell you yes. And I think he was using, is he a wristwatch company that the first people that he went to, they told him no. Either a wristwatch or insurance, but he was able to sell like everything out to the people that initially told him no. And then becoming like taught me that oh your your where you are does not affect you. You can always move forward. It doesn't mean that oh because people see you as you're not good enough or you don't fit the typical stereotype, it doesn't mean that you should stick to that place. I think that is one thing that I really love. Then talk about becoming then reading the Bible. Yes, reading the Bible. The Bible is the Bible is the key to life. Like the Bible is the key to life. The Bible is the key to life. So when we read the Bible, we say, "Guard your hearts all jealousy, because out of it flows the things of life." So this is one thing that, oh, these are speaking. Yes, I read the Bible on a normal day, but when I was doing it as a task, it made me to calm down to say, "Oh, I have to read this. I have to take something because I know that I must write a report on it." That report was very important. Whether I send it as mail or put it as Google Docs, so I know that I must write. Even when I'm doing a voluntary work, I know that, oh, I must, because I know I must do reports and they must give me accommodation later. I know that I will not fall. I have to do work well. I have to do my work well. So like I think that these are the things that like they talk, they made like a remarkable improvement on me. Like, oh, I'm volunteering. That means I know that, oh, since I'm volunteering, that I have to since I'm volunteering, I have to since I'm volunteering, I have to make sure that I do it well. So I have a glowing recommendation list. And I think that these are things that really, really, really helps me, as a person.
Awesome. Now, everything you've been saying has just been phenomenal and amazing. Were there times where you had challenges, right? Where you felt like this load is too heavy for me to bear? Did you have challenges as a participant of the L300 program? Did you have challenges that you faced?
Yes, of course there were challenges.
Tell us
You
about
tell
it.
Lex, there were challenges. Those books used to give us, there were a lot at a point. I think you will not say, if you go to Google, I will know. Ah! So I knew that I had to read. You tell us, ah, if you go to Google, I will know. And he was like, oh man, you have to read these books. You're stuck. Like, and movies, I'm not a movie person. I really do not enjoy watching movies. It stresses me out. Like, the straight I use and watch movie, I would have read like three books at the same time. And because of L300, I had to calm down, look for Netflix login, check YouTube, watch movies. And sometimes the volunteer work, there's sometimes I want to just stay on my bed. I have to leave the house, let's say by 5 a.m. I have to be awake by like 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. to dress up, prepare for work. Because you can't come, if you come late, they'll query you. Why are you late for work? Don't you have things to do? So I think that is like, there were challenges at first. But when life gives you lemons, that make lemonade or lemon cake. You have to turn it into something. If you always look at challenges, you won't be able to do a lot of things. Like if I look at challenges when I was reading for law, I may have considered a 2-1 or 2-2. No, 2-2 as a class because sometimes we're discouraging. You could write test, it was really bad. Like you said, your result is very bad, your test scores are very bad, and you know that, oh, I have to put in more effort. I'm heading towards
Yeah.
this since I'm heading towards this is the grade I'm heading towards. I know that I can't get below this in exam. So I think that it was kind of sometimes it wasn't always roses and champagne. It wasn't always chocolate. It wasn't always nice. But like because we have put our mind into it, we signed up for it, right? I have to ensure that I do my work. I have to ensure that I read my books. I have to ensure that I do my task. I have to ensure that I do my task so that I'll be able to get cleared. I think then my own gain then was, oh, I want to get cleared. I want to get cleared. I want to make money. I want to get cleared. But now, whenever I think about it, it really helps me a whole lot.
Awesome. 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 Um, apart from the trim sessions, movie nights, podcasts, short movies, all of the things that we do, the one that everybody feel like is the Oga Patapata of them all was holiday task. That holiday tax was the Oga Patapata of them all, where you get to watch a movie, read book, learn offline skill, learn online skill, and voluntary service for 1 month. How was holiday tax for you?
Mm. So I think I've given the full juice, the cocoa. Me like holiday task was interesting. Sometimes like apart from watching the movie part, I'm more a movie fan. Apart from that part, The task was really interesting. I enjoyed the books I read. Richard Fan in Babylon, Think and Grow Rich, How to Influence and Influence People. I don't know if it was L300 or Student Leadership that made me read that book. You know,
It was
they were really
L300.
interesting. They were really interesting. The volunteer service, honestly, even if you volunteered, funny enough, they will still give you money after. It's a volunteer work, but like they will still like
They still give you
afterwards.
thank you for coming.
Yes, and it'll be crazy. Like, oh, I didn't come here to collect money. But I'll still collect the money because thank you. You thought of me like that. Like, it's a way for you to also network because a lot of people downplay the corporate world. Corporate world is not as bad as people make it to be. It's just
True.
that the supply is less than the supply is less than the demand for corporate work, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, the supply,
The
like
demand.
what is available, the job available is less than
Yes.
the demand for it. So when people try to downplay, oh, corporate world is interesting. If you do corporate, you may be in school and I don't know how to navigate your friends and everything. You may think that everybody can take your bad characters. But with corporate world, you know that you learn how to be polite, you have to be cautious. When you when someone does something for you, you have to say thank you. You learn how to have basic etiquette, you know. You learn how to knock before you open doors. You learn that if an elevator with a person, like basic behaviors. When you're with a man in the elevator, like if both of you are together, the man will like open the door for you, you go first. These are simple things that initially you may not have mattered, right? You may not have really learned them. But like because you're in corporate world, you know how to behave. You don't it's not every time you eat. There's time for break, there's time for work, right? You also learn how to combine because you have to combine work-life balance. Because you start from holiday tasks, learn how to combine work-life balance. If you're not able to do it with your voluntary service, when you become the corporate goon that you are, if you want to be a corporate babe or a corporate um guy, when you become that person, you might be burnt out. So from holiday task, you learn how to avoid um burnout. You learn how not to be overworked. So that is what I think that holiday tax is sweet and bitter because watching movies sometimes reading all those books, there are things you want to do with your time. You want to go out with your friends, you spend more time in the night, or you want to read these books. But at the end of the time, at the end of the day, what we want is results. The result is that we have our report. Beyond that, we also learn things because initially we were doing it for reports. But like the lessons that we learned, the skills we gained, they are invaluable. Like that's how much this is for me.
Your stats in holiday tax met a transition of some things. Before now, people used to do A4 exercise book and write out their summaries, handwritten summaries.
Are you serious?
Yes, I still have the notes. Handwritten summaries. A4 exercise book will be full back and front. Handwritten summaries of the holiday tax. So let me see how people are going to copy AI. But it's okay. Now, you're done and dusted. You're a graduate, first class graduate of Faculty of Law. We appreciate you. We celebrate you. What three pieces of advice would you leave with people who are coming in? What three pieces of
Okay,
advice
so
would you
three pieces
leave
of
for? No problem.
for people.
Now, I said now you're a graduate, you're done and
Yes,
dusted,
please.
class from the first class from Faculty of Law. Congratulations. What three pieces of advice would you leave with people who are still in the program or those who are coming into the program for the first time? What three pieces of advice would you leave with them?
Okay, so the first piece of advice I'm going to give is don't be discouraged. Honestly, don't be discouraged. The it looks like Herculean task initially, like when they give you the task, it looks very difficult or arduous. But like with time, when you adjust, don't be discouraged. It may look initially when they tell you, oh, read 5 books, you'll be like, how many months do I have? Read 5 books, go for voluntary work and everything. It may look difficult, but don't be discouraged. God that is in you is bigger than the God that is in the world. So regardless, don't be discouraged. Take all your opportunities, take the task, take it head on. Pray to God, take it head on. Always ensure that you can just always believe that you can do it. Don't be discouraged.
We lost you for a bit.
Sorry.
Yes, go
So
ahead.
always believe that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for the interruption. Always
No
believe
problem, no
that
problem.
you can do it. Always believe that you can do it. So the second piece of advice is don't do LC100 alone. Do it with God. God said, abide in me and I will abide in you because without me you can do nothing. So when you're doing your L300, when you're doing your L300 task, always know that God is with you. As you're going there, you're going to, especially for voluntary service, you're not going there alone. You're going there as Jesus. Because when a Christian school, we attended a Christian school, so I'm going to add God. Always believe that you're going there as Jesus to you're you're going there as Jesus to the people. So because you're going there as Jesus to the people, as you're going there as Jesus to the people, always know you're going there as Jesus. So as you're going as Jesus, so so you're going there as Jesus, and because you're going there as Jesus, you're going there to represent Christ. You're going there to show people that you're made from a different you're made from a different stock, right? You're made from a different stock. Because you're made from a different stock, you always have to pray. As you're doing your your LC100 work, you always have to pray. You always have to go with God. And I think the last lesson, the last advice I'm going to give is be excellent in what you're doing. Excellence is a standard. It's not excellence is continuous. It's not what you do once and leave. Whether you're reading your books, whether you're watching your movies, do it in an excellent way. If you're writing your report, do it in an excellent way that when somebody sees your work, they'll say, oh, something is distinguishing this person from the next person. When you're doing your voluntary service, make sure that you're excellent in your work. Make sure that, oh, if your MD remembers you, oh, who can do this and do it in a perfect way, in a good way, they always say, oh, this person can do it. This person can do it. This person can do it, this person can do it, and she will do it well. I think that is like the key advice I'll give people that are doing LSC. Sorry, I'm saying LSC of 300.
No problem. We understand. You know, L300 prepares me for LST, right? So we understand they are both connected
Yes,
from the same office and all of that. Finally, there's this thing we always say in L300. I love BIU because it is where I met you. Was that statement actually true for you?
yes, actually, yes. I really met nice people in BIU. Like no university has no university 100% fine, right? There were issues, we had issues, but I think the good overcame the bad, right? As humans, we are quick to criticize. We are always quick to say, "Oh, this, that." But there were really good people I met in BIU, like Zion, AB, Sheik. The list is endless. Before others will not come and come for me, but like, but like, I really met lovely people, Divine, Misoma, Sweetie. The list is endless, honestly. Like, and if I didn't come to BIU, I wouldn't have met them. Because a little backstory, some of my classmates and I, before we wanted to BIU, before we went to BIU, because lots of schools were on strike, I wanted to go to another school. A lot of us, so it's a little backstory, right? But thank God we came to BIU, right? We chose BIU. BIU did not choose us. We chose BIU. We wanted to be there. There were lots of schools. We wanted to go to that this school or this school, right? And like at the end of the day, BIU won the race. BIU won the fight. if I can say that, like BIU won the fight, but like BIU helped us. BIU shaped us. There are lots of lovely people that I actually met. People that oh beyond school, I see myself going with this person. I see myself being with this person. I see myself maintaining relationships with this person. Why? Because BIU was, I think BIU gave us leverage. BIU is a school that um BIU gave us leverage. BIU gave us a level playing ground for all of us to play in, right? BIU gave us a level playing ground for all of us to play in. Gave us opportunities, gave us friendships. Some of us made or gave us family, second family house of home. So even if the 5 years is gone, I still love BIU because I met some solid people there. And yeah, so I love BIU because that's how I met you. It's very valid.
Very valid. So, thank you so much, Daniela. Thank you so much for taking our time today to share your L300 impact story and how the program impacted you and why you encourage other people to take advantage of the opportunity that the program offers so that they too can have a story to share tomorrow about their experience of the L300 program. So, once again, thank you so very much. And like we always say, I love BIU because it is where I met you. So thank you so much, Daniela. Enjoy the rest of
Thank you
your
so much for
evening.
the opportunity. I'm so grateful. I didn't believe I can be here. But I'm so
You're
grateful.
here?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No
I'm so
problem. Thank
grateful,
you so
sir.
much.
Thank you
Enjoy the
so
rest
much.
of your day.
And you too, sir. Have a nice evening.
You too. Bye.